They arrested me for driving under the influence while half my body was shutting down and I was begging for medical help. I don't drink at all and I had pulled over because my arm and leg stopped working without warning. The officer found me stuck in my seat trying to call emergency services with fingers that wouldn't close. He said I'd been swerving and asked if I'd been drinking, and I told him I thought I was having a serious medical emergency. He looked at me like I was making excuses and asked me to prove it. I told him I couldn't move the left side of my body and something was very wrong. He shined a light in my eyes and asked me to follow his finger, which I failed completely. Then he told me to step out of the car and I said I physically couldn't. He said he'd help and instead secured my wrists. That's how I ended up in a holding cell while slowly losing the ability to speak. They placed me in a cell with a woman named Dana who immediately noticed my face drooping. I tried to explain what was happening but only broken sounds came out. Dana called for help and told the guard something was seriously wrong. The guard brushed it off and said I would be fine. Dana decided fine wasn't good enough and made herself impossible to ignore. She shouted, sang, banged the bars, and refused to stop for hours. By early morning I couldn't move, talk, or keep my eyes open. Dana kept yelling that I was fading and needed medical attention. No one came until she threw her shoe through the bars and forced a response. That's when they finally called emergency services. I woke up days later in a hospital bed, unable to move half my body. The doctor told me I had experienced a major medical event and timing mattered. I had waited 9 hours when the first few hours were critical. Records later showed I had asked for help repeatedly and been ignored. Several people were removed from their jobs after everything was reviewed. The case was settled but damage like this doesn't disappear. I walk slower now and my left hand doesn't work the same. I do therapy constantly and probably always will. Dana's charges were dropped and we stayed friends. She saved my life by refusing to stay quiet. Some heroes wear badges. Mine wore borrowed shoes and wouldn't stop yelling.